Hi everybody. Today I'd like to ask a simple question. How often, if at all, are you talking to your freshman or sophomore, about the college admissions process? Is it once a month? Is it once every 6 months? Is it once a year? Or is it not at all? I'd love to get your opinion on this. And of course, I'd like to make some suggestions from my point of view, talking to parents and kids all the time, what might be a good interval and what might be a good content for some of those conversations. Hi everybody, I'm Phil Black. I run an online mentoring program called PrepWell Academy, where I help to guide rising freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors to help them make smart decisions about high school, about college majors, about careers, and about life. So I deal with this issue all the time, and I'm very curious out there if you have a suggestion on what you do with your kids. Of course, I have kids going through this process. I spent years going over what those types of things to say are, but I'd like to hear what's going through your mind in terms of when and if you talk about these things. Now, when I talk to parents and say, are you talking to your kids about college admissions? Oftentimes they get a little squeamish because they don't really know. They don't really know what to talk about. They're intimidated. They're afraid to say too much. It's going to sound like it's a lot of pressure and it's intimidating. They're afraid to say too little because they don't want to have that big surprise in 11th grade when everybody, the gig is up and the cat's out of the bag and everybody's talking about college admissions. So they're not really quite sure what to do with that pesky freshman and sophomore who are at that stage where you don't want to intimidate them, you don't want to scare them and pressure them, but you want them to know that there are certain things that they should consider at least and think about to prepare themselves so when they get to that 11th grade and the world starts coming down on them and everybody's talking about SAT and colleges and visits and school representatives coming to the school, that they have it dialed in. Now, admittedly, part of the reason I created PrepWell Academy is because I was intimidated by this process. I was nervous to talk to the kids because I wasn't really sure what to say. I wasn't sure, okay, kids, let's talk about college. You're a freshman. What do we talk about? SAT? Is it too early? Is it too late? Should you even be taking the SAT? Should it be the ACT? What classes should you take? What type of extracurriculars? All these things seem extremely out there and difficult to get my arms around, and I didn't want to lose credibility with my kids, sounding like I know what I talk about, but I really don't. And it's not that great just to say, hey, I'm your parent. College is important. Do your best, Johnny. Do your best, Susie. That's okay. But it would be nice if it was more coordinated from an authority figure, ideally a third-party person, giving that type of information to your son or daughter. So I'm interested. What have you brought up the topic? Some parents tell me, that's a tough topic. That's like talking about sex and drugs and relationships and drunk driving and marijuana. It's something that you probably should think about and talk about. The lines of communication should be open, but you're not really sure the tone and the interval and the intensity of the conversation that you should have, because that freshman and sophomore is in a very precarious, fragile position. They're just coming into their own. They're trying to build their identity. You don't want to knock them too far off course, but you also want to make sure that you're not putting your head in the sand and just not waiting and not talking to them and having them wait till junior year. So obviously there are a couple of options. One is you can teach yourself all the important topics and then try to convey those topics to your son or daughter. How often, you might ask? Depends. Depends on how much you know, depends on how much you're researching and studying and how much you feel like you're confident that you know what you're talking about. And then how often is your son or daughter going to be open to you talking about it? Or are they going to say, Mom, not again, Dad, not again, I'm sick of this college admission stuff. So it has to be coordinated. There has to be some savvy, some nuance to it to get them going, to keep it at least on the top of their mind. Now, they don't have to slave away and feel all pressure-filled and my parents are coming down on me. This is crazy. I'm just trying to be a high school student. I get all that stuff. And that's why in PrepWell Academy, the course that I run, we eke these things out on a weekly basis in small digestible bits. 3 minutes here, 4 minutes there, 5 minutes there, with very relevant pieces of information for their stage in life. So for freshmen, we don't talk about the SAT. We don't talk about colleges. We don't talk about where they want to go. It's too early in the process. We talk about study habits. We talk about identity. We talk about who they hang out with school and how to pay attention in class and how to build those study habits so that eventually they're going to pick these things up. Same thing with sophomores. You amp it up a little bit, but this process has to be laid out and coordinated and systematic. And that's what PrepWell Academy does. If you're enrolled in PrepWell Academy, you get a little bite-sized nugget from me every week, as if I'm your long-lost uncle who comes over to your house on the weekends every Sunday night, and I tap you on the shoulder, tap your son or daughter on the shoulder, and I say, hey, Johnny, Susie, this week, here's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about study habits. We're talking about organizing your room. We're talking about making sure that you know how to establish folders on your computer so your homepage is not a complete disaster garage sale of folders and icons and videos and papers. We do that type of stuff. So if this is interesting to you, please pass this message along to other parents who have freshmen or sophomores, and they maybe need a little help, a little guidance. My goal is almost every day. I went for the entire summer, every single day, coming at you with tips, guidance, a little hint here or there, a little prompt, just to get you thinking, to help your son or daughter get their way, navigate their way through this college admissions process. Now, if you like that philosophy and you think I might have some value by coming over every Sunday night, tapping your son or daughter on the shoulder, telling them what's up in a way that's very systematic and at the right interval, with the right content, at the right time, you might want to sign up and enroll in PrepWell Academy. We are opening up PrepWell Academy for new enrollees in about a week and a half, so I'll keep you updated. We opened up in June, and then we had to close from too many enrollees, and we made some adjustments, so now we're going to open up again at the end of September. So please put your comments down below. How have you dealt with this issue of bringing up this topic of college admissions with your son or daughter? Has it worked? Has it not worked? Has it been frustrating? Has it been easy? Has it been hard? Let me know. Also, let me know if there's a topic that you'd like me to address in one of these Facebook Live sessions, and I will try to address that as best you can. If you like what you're seeing, please give me a thumbs up. Please let me know you're out there. Please let me know that this has been helpful, and I'll keep it up. And again, if you have a topic I'd love to address it, put it in the notes below. I check out all the comments after every one of these sessions, and I wish you luck. And make sure you talk to your son or daughter about college admissions at the right time, the right place, the right tone, and I wish you luck. See you next time.